Oh, we're not even in the first topic?
Yeah, welcome.
No, come on, Fonz. You know better. Come on.
No, you know what you signed up
It's
for.
not even 2:00 yet. Come
I
on.
love it.
Fonz. You know,
love
3:00 we get to the first topic.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, the topics this week, we're going to have a little bit of fun, but they're nothing like serious discussion.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
stuff.
No
Crazy.
FTC stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Calm before the storm. Calm before the storm.
Yeah,
So what-
next week, we're talking about the FTC.
Oh, you know
for
it's
sure.
going down, most likely.
Tuesday.
No doubt. So GamesCom, man, what's going on? Xbox got a presence there. This your topic. What's up?
That and Tokyo Game Show, they're going to both this year.
That is correct. That is true. So
And apparently, Tokyo Game Show is going to be like their biggest year they've had. So I don't know if that's like talking about before the pandemic type of big, or you know, it's going to just be a beefy year for the Tokyo Game Show. So
Beefy, huh?
Yo, I love that. Yo, we might have to go to the Tokyo this year. Beefy. Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna get a bullhorn and we walk in the room. I'm gonna yell out Beefy.
Yeah, out of pocket, yo. These dudes is out of pocket for real. So,
King, we need a beefy shirt.
your thoughts on this? What do you think as your topic, Addict? Like, what do you think is gonna happen at Gamescom? The presence, Xbox and Bethesda said they're gonna be there. Greeny has put out the tweet, you know, basically stating that I didn't say he didn't say like not temperature expectations, but he was kind of saying they're looking to show out, you know, at their
I love
shows.
it. I have been a huge person in the community that's been very vocal about Microsoft really building their own outlets and their own events and not necessarily giving all their stuff to everyone else. And notice they weren't at the they wasn't at the Video Game Awards this year. They wasn't at the Jeff Keighley thing, whatever that thing was called, the Summer Game Fest. They weren't at none of that stuff. And I feel like they could have easily shown stuff at these events, but they're holding it closer to the chest. Is it going to be a huge presence? Probably not. But we're probably going to see Game Pass announcements, and we're going to see some form of maybe, exclusive indie games or big type of games that would be make more sense in that top part of the world. I think we're going to start seeing more of these little events, maybe a direct to some degree. I don't know if it's going to be anything big, but the fact that they're there and they're showing their face in these other parts of the world, because people need to realize that just because we enjoy the Xbox brand and we're in the States doesn't mean that's the case everywhere.
Yeah.
For the most part, they do have some form of an audience in other parts of the world, but it's mainly just here. They get a lot of their
strongest here.
biggest sales from this part of the world, and I think that's the thing they're doing. They've been to Tokyo Game Show like 2 or 3 years in a row. They're going to Gamescom this year. I think they're showing like, look, we're out in these streets. We're showing you what we can do. We want to be better when it comes to giving better messaging, and he came out there, he made some, not necessarily bold statements, but some defining statements. And I think that, we're going to see some form of presence in terms of, I don't know if it's going to be direct or maybe it's just going to be a couple tweets in that day, but they're going to be on the show floor. So that's cool. But I do think that we're going to see some form of announcements at Gamescom. I do think that.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's get Pong Soul in the realm. Xbox's presence, man. They came out there. They said they're going to be, at a Gamescom. Greenberg with the tweet. Excited to be back this year to see so many faces familiar and new. Our teams have been working hard on our show floor presence and more. This will be a special year. Looking forward to sharing even more details soon. So, Pong, what's your feeling? What's your thoughts about this Xbox at Gamescom?
Yeah, and it wasn't just Greenberg either, right, Cog?
Yeah.
It was Phil. Phil came
Yes.
out and said, it's been too many years since my last Gamescom. I'm looking forward to attending and seeing the community at the show, right? That means something. When the big man's going to be in the house, that always means something special to me, right? Obviously, I'm, right in line with what Attic was just saying. Obviously, this is also going to be the last week push before Starfield launches, which is one of the biggest launches, again, arguably in decades, right? As far as a first party game goes. So obviously that's probably going to be a focus. Like I said, it would be outside of the norm, but I wouldn't doubt to see Starfield maybe playable on the floor at Gamescom, which would be huge, right? That would Yeah, go against Todd. Normal, you know what Todd likes to do. He doesn't want anybody seeing his game until launch day, even the reviewers, right? But I think it's going to be different for Starfield. So I think this could be a big push there. But I definitely think now that we've got Greenberg out here talking about this is an exciting special year for Xbox, we already know that, Greenie. You guys just came off a gigantic showcase. You came off a direct for Starfield that blew people's socks out of the water. We know that. What are you saying? Is it? Yeah, we know this is going to be special.
Hold up, Pong. I'm double checking to make sure I don't have my socks on. Yes.
Exactly. So I think that they might have something special. They might have another thing up their sleeve. You know, this goes back to the Giant Bomb interview with Phil and Matt Booty as well. Shout out to Grubb and those guys over there.
Yes.
You know, they specifically asked him about another director, what they kind of were going to do. And Booty answered, well, we've got other things coming up this year, like Gamescom, like the Game of the Year awards, right? He specifically mentioned these shows. Like Attic was saying, I'm in line. I would love the idea that they have, 3 directs a year if they've got the content, which they do now, to showcase. But if you're going to use these shows also as a platform, absolutely, right? This is something that a lot of us talked about in the community for a long time. The marketing aspect, getting out there, and like Attic said too, getting to different parts of the world is always going to be important for Microsoft and Xbox, right? It's always going to be important. Europe is, they're doing good, but they're not doing great, right? And they want to change that. So you got to show up to some place like Gamescom in Germany and show what you got. And I think we're going to probably get a couple surprises. I think Age of Empires 4 for console would be a great announcement here. I know everybody says niche genre, but it's still a big game. And it is due up. So Age of Empires 4 for console. And I think they could have something like a Hi-Fi Rush ready to rock and roll, or just a smaller game, maybe a couple of smaller games on the horizon, maybe some European devs that they've teamed up with that we don't know about yet.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No doubt, Pong. I like what you're cooking up. Lord Fonzarelli, Gamescom, Xbox is back. What do you feel, the presence is? What are you expecting from them? What would you like?
Well, given that by the time Gamescom rolls around, we should know about the whole FTC ruling and everything.
Yes.
They might have a lot more to show than we think. Think about it. I mean,
are you
they've got
implying
Activision. If that were to happen, I mean, they'd have a lot to show for it. Not that I don't think they wouldn't have anything to show for it if that deal doesn't go through. Because if it doesn't, I mean, it really changes nothing for us anyway. Much. We still get the games, whatever we play. We just don't get them in Game Pass. But no, I think they have a lot to offer us still. There's still games out there they can show more of, namely Hellblade 2. Like give actual gameplay.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be really nice to do. They're going to have to show some combat.
Studio.
They've been working on that combat for, we've been hearing about it for years now, saying how much better the combat has gotten. We need to see that. And I think that would be a great place to show it. I mean, that is the world stage for gaming, right? That is like the massive world E3, essentially. That's the big one. So show us some gameplay, man. Show us some actual gameplay. That's what I want to see there with Hellblade 2. Also, I think that they, have other games that maybe that were unannounced so far. Maybe they'll have an announcement there. Maybe not a huge game, but something on the smaller end, but exclusive to Xbox. I'm not really looking at this Gamescom and thinking we're going to see some crazy stuff from Xbox, but I do think that they can show a lot of good stuff for us and get us excited still. I really do.
No doubt. Like what you cooking up there, Lord King. Where you at, man? Your boys outside, Greedy's outside, talking about they're excited, continuing the year of great things to show. He mentioned the year specifically. So where you at with Xbox?
And the big thing, King, how does it feel to hold? We're going to be holding the line in Germany. Not us physically, but Xbox is going to be holding the line in Germany.
Oh, they need to send me my check if they're going to hold it.
Well funded.
I just well funded. Well respected. First, I hit Young Dread in the DM, so we're gonna work.
I have to sign off. I have to sign off on
Yeah,
this.
I know. I'm gonna keep you in the loop on that.
Oh, you gonna keep me in the loop about
Yeah,
my
I'm
emoji
keep-
that you gonna make about
I'm
me?
gonna keep your face. Yeah.
You gonna keep me up there?
The
Yeah.
first one printed, you get the word.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
no. He knows. I sent him the.
I've already seen a lot of drawings on Twitter, and
Yeah.
he
Yo,
said
hey.
make sure you approve those, Kyle.
Yeah,
Oh,
we gonna
definitely.
do that, but we got to make sure that it's brand official.
Yeah.
I would say that there are a lot of talented people out there.
Yes,
absolutely.
Man.
Young Dread is
Young Dread doing
we
his
calling
thing.
you up, so maybe
Beefy
this
talent for these beefy streets, man.
This is your opportunity to break, because I usually have a real tight group that I work with, like Graphic God,
Shaun
De Niro,
Labrie,
Shaun, Labrie, and so maybe we get some new young blood up in there.
About the showcase, sir.
There's a Nothing Burger. They always do this. They do this every time. Like they go to the Gamescom and they be like, "Yeah, Microsoft is gonna be at Gamescom," and they give you all the E3 stuff. Remove all the fluff. Put like whatever the extra days were. Consolidate that in. Put that on a reel and throw that up there. And then everybody's like, "Yeah, Microsoft had a great show." They might show a couple of indies and some deals that they had done. Now, here's the caveat. This is the first time that a big deal is pending of acquisitions going into the show. Right. So we feel that by the end of next week, we should have some information on the ABK deal. Be it a go or be it a no. Right. And it's a go because I live on positivity time. It's a go. You might have a change at the show.
A little audible,
Right.
like a line of
Yeah,
scrimmage.
Omaha. Phil might yell out,
call it Omaha. Okay.
Yeah, we got running across the line, Omaha.
Move a studio, he gonna go down there. Here come Activision Blizzard, move in the tight formation.
He tell King go long, pause.
I can't. Not the Omaha.
So football references. If you don't know football, go look it up. So I think that might happen, and I think it hinges on that. So I'm gonna give you the scenario that if the ABK deal don't go through, show be just the same thing as E3, all that stuff that was there. Okay. ABK deal goes through, you will have an extended welcoming, because that's like a coming out party, right? That's we're here, the other dudes aren't. And you really get the chance to rub it in their face, because this a little bit different. Remember, the opposition directly tried to oppose this. So this is where you actually get a chance to grab their wound, open it up, and throw a whole bunch of salt in it and rub it in on the stage, on the national stage, where they aren't there, where they told that demographic that they didn't matter. Right? So they're going to show them that this demographic matters and this deal matters, and we're going to rub it in your wound.
Real quick question, King.
Yes, sir.
If the deal goes through, do they announce the cards and Game Pass at Gamescom?
It might happen that same day. They might wait to that day to stand on stage and say, "Go look at your Game Pass now. Get your Call of Duty on."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they might. Diablo might drop that day. You never know all the stuff that might happen. That it will be a detrimental day for a certain fan base, right? And I think, and this is just a little bit of talk here, guys.
What we doing?
After this deal goes through, we already know this is acquisition season. The rise of Sith Lord Phil
Sith Lord. Okay.
is in effect. Tokyo Game Show.
Ooh.
Wouldn't it be wild to announce we're acquiring Sega?
We go. The block is hot.
I was thinking that.
King.
I was thinking that.
King, the block
Square
is
Enix?
so.
No, the
hot.
block is not hot. The block is not hot. The block is not hot. Don't ever think the block is hot. The deal is good. It's a good deal. So they get the deal done.
Yep.
What better stage than because somebody is floundering in Japan,
Oh man.
Yep. In their backyard, right, Ken?
and this is Sith
Oh,
Lord
now here it
Phil's
is.
finest moment. He steps on that stage and says, "We are in talks to acquiring Sega," and comes out on the stage with Sega Chief, and this is what we're trying to do next to take over where they left off, where the other team abandoned Japan, and I think that sends everybody in a frenzy. And little black man's sold all over Japan like it's going out of style. I think that's where they make their mark. Y'all looking at Gamescom as the climax? No, I think that's the catalyst to the climax, and the climax is Tokyo Game Show.
Wow, you fresh out the court.
That's right. We right back in it.
Fresh off the federal investigation.
Yes, that's right. Teflon Don.
Federal Trade Commission, and you literally gonna go and make another publisher acquisition right then and there and keep it pushing.
Yeah, we acquired, and we still had money, and you saw the list. Guess who's next, baby? Sonic, come on home.
Out of curiosity, King, if the deal doesn't go through,
shut up.
What's it? No. I want your honest opinion. If the deal doesn't go through, how much of that money that they were initially going to give Activision do you think Microsoft okays for them to reinvest in other stuff? Because I don't think it's all, but I do think it's a good portion of it would go. We can't get Activision. Let's look at other things.
Okay, and I'm gonna do it as a layman, right? I'm gonna act like I'm no business, no nothing.
Okay.
If I took $500 and I set it aside for something, and that something fell through, that $500 was gone anyway. So I'm gonna take that $500 and invest it in other aspects. So I think every last dollar of that 70, and be forewarned, the deal doesn't go through, and it's blocked by Sony. You have a target on your head, sir. You are green lit. All right. In the streets, when there's a green light on you, that means y'all saw John Wick, when dudes was coming out of the corner all over. We gonna get this bounty. They will acquire every and anything possible. You want to talk about the stuff that y'all like to talk about, that stuff that y'all like to do, buy exclusive games and time it out and leave a segment of the community out. Microsoft will take $70 billion and erase games from your platform. Since y'all like to do that and the FTC think there's nothing wrong with that, well, all the games that's coming out from every third party, let's send some cash their way and let's see how it works. And that's organic growth. Y'all like that, right? It'll be so organic. It will organically fold you up, put you in the coffin, and I can't wait to see them do that and ship y'all away. Yeah, my ROG Ally is gonna be lit. If this deal don't go through, y'all just might as well just sign it up. It's over. You better let the deal go through. Y'all better ask for that to happen. That's a far less worse fate than if the deal don't go through.
Who's doing that little dance, Phil or Green?
Who's doing it?
All of them.
Who's doing that?
Who doing that?
All of them will have the PlayStation in the casket.
Oh, you talking about the meme when they doing
the meme?
You know the meme when they all dancing? They will all be dancing with the PlayStation in the casket because this deal don't go through. And boy, do you understand? How do you anger a $1 trillion company with your $1 billion butt? Sit your $1 billion butt down before I make change.
Oh, man.
Y'all know that Nino Brown move?
Yeah, I remember that.
Never liked your heart. Anyway, yo, I'm telling you, he tried to play nice. This is the rise of Starfield. It's completely over. Either way it goes, y'all are app anyway, bro.
He said this is the Vader origin story right here.
Yo, think about it, Fonz. Wasn't Anakin such a nice kid?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful, right? Until they constantly did different things to upset this man. He has the force. He had the ability to either go left or right. And then Mace Windu said, yo, don't train that dude. Because if you give him power, he can go left or right. And they angered this man. Did y'all see Phil angry when he did that interview?
Yeah. And that power is that checkbook, huh?
That power is Satya being over there because he's like, more power. My apprentice.
Let the evil flow through you with the checkbook.
Feel it. Take it. I can get this back to you, Phil. I can make you win, Phil. Yo, and he has the ability to allow him to win.
Oh, man.
Yo, I'm telling you. And you know why I knew it was that? Because when Satya was on the stand, and he said, yes, I don't have any stake in that choice. That's young Phil.
They call him Emperor Nadella.
If young Phil wants to kill them, let him die.
They said Satya
I heard him say,
Sidious.
Anakin, and he slipped up because Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. Darth Vader at the end is a sympathetic individual that a lot of circumstances happened to him that formed him into who he was, and he felt that his decision is right. So this is the rise of the empire. You're gonna have to get down and lay down. Knees are ours, and we looking for it. And you're on the wrong side of history.
Say it as King's thoughts. I disagree. Deal with that. Listen, the deal go through.
I love King's stories, though.
Oh, his stories are amazing. Ain't nothing better than King's story. Listen, if the deal go through, it ain't gonna be no Sega's neck. Nah, that's not. It's not. I love y'all.
I don't know about that.
Hey,
it might be Sega next.
Hey,
Ron just
not if it is, but not
a flight out.
Yes.
Hey, call. King acting like it's like a restaurant and they bring the steak. It's not cooked enough. Send it back.
He lit. I love the movie he watching. But
no, you know what it is? It's like Attic, and you'll love this. Is the restaurant we took you to, that Brazilian restaurant?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I had nightmares of that place to this day.
When you turn that card over and there's a green light, and they keep letting it come, they keep bringing it.
It's like I have a nightmare that like I turn it over to have them stop, but it's green on both sides.
Both sides. They just keep coming. They keep going to Brazilian steakhouse.
I'm just sitting there. They keep coming. Like, no, please. And they're like, one of them's holding me back.
Wait a minute. Is that the place where they keep bringing you the meat?
Yeah, the Brazilian steakhouse
one of those.
joint.
I gotta go to one of those.
Bro,
It
if you
was
come to New
definitely a
York,
beefy
we got you,
experience.
fellas. We got the spot.
man.
Come
got
to
this
New
spot.
York, we'll take you there. Pong. I
Mad
looked
beefy.
over at Attic because I don't eat meat. Pause.
Right.
And Attic started catching the meat sweats.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It will
And
happen.
he never. I guess he didn't
That's
know
a
it's the real
glorious
thing,
thing.
bro. But
It's a
it's the
glorious
wildest thing. And I look over at him, and he looks over at me. I'm like,
No. Look, man. Look, it'll be. Obviously, I agree with you that if the ABK deal, the injunction, it doesn't, go through for the FTC, that there's a chance they call it audible as far as that acquisition, and have maybe they kind of fire up something quick, whether it be an Xbox wire post, showing the graphic, right? I could see that kind of energy. Hey, maybe even something from the back compat team or Game Pass, like, yo, immediately as of this is in here, kind of like how Bethesda was. As far as like Gamescom itself, it's a big deal. I think it's big when they actually have a show presence on the floor. When they're on the floor, it's a big deal. You set up the booth. That's like
Because that's for the fans.
Yes, that's traditional E3 style. This is not like a online event pass through. That means they're taking Germany and the EU very seriously.
And they're spending thousands of dollars to send people there.
Absolutely. Sending people out there. You said, like Pong said, Phil made the statement. I think that's big. I think we're also sleeping on Forza's presence. I think Forza has to make a huge dent out there. This is the
but I didn't like it. I didn't like what they did to Forza.
Right. You yourself being mad. I told Maddie that you said that on Defining Duke. And I was like, King's a big Forza guy. There's a people that want, to the Forza fans' defense, the motorsport guy, the hardcore, the simulation guy, they didn't get the in-depth that they should have. I personally was fine with their presence the way in the direct. But it is a game that's coming out this year. This is the region that is supposed to put. Shout out to my man, what's it, Forza Irwin and them. They get it in.
Yeah.
There's a community that I'm a Horizon guy, but the motorsport guys are a different breed, and that's the graphical showcase and simulation base.
Because I didn't get. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, please.
Didn't get, because it's supposed to be a game of service,
Yes.
right? And I didn't get what the season pass would look like. I didn't get. I heard the tire thing would change, like the rotation.
Career mode, we don't really know the details, the grit, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we get Turn 10 shows up there, if I had to guess, and has a nice presence to really give the the car aficionados what they want. And we got to call, look, God Howard most likely is going to be outside. Once they say Bethesda, Xbox and Bethesda, there's the premier title. And I don't know about y'all. There's really nothing that excites me this year more than Starfield. There's nothing. That, so, you know how it is. Starfield to me.
We're getting close.
And we're getting
really
close. Yeah,
close.
2 months away. They have some form of a presence there. It'll be interesting to see how much that they divulge, because to Addict's point, you know, Todd is kind of secretive. They like to do things their way, but the thing I'm noticing now that you're part of Xbox Game Studios, you got to promote this thing. This is all hands on deck from a promotional to build up this hype train to get this thing going. Promo is ready, so I expect that to happen. I'm with you. I forgot who said it. I think it was Fonz about Ninja Theory. Look, I'm hoping the UK studios presence is strong, whether it be Playground Games with a little maybe more Fable tidbits, and Ninja Theory especially. Now, conventional wisdom says Ninja Theory might not be there only because they might want to save combat for a developer direct because they like already showed it.
Yeah.
But hey, Fonz, I'm with you. If you want to come out there and show us another snippet where, you know, center what is actually fun. Hey, I won't object. I won't object because we all agree that as much as we love Ninja Theory, that showcase showing of it wasn't it. It
That's
wasn't
what gave it the show any minuses.
right.
Yes.
Because think about this:
100%.
if Senua Hellblade 2 shows combat and it's phenomenal, we're elevating that show even further. The show was
Yes.
amazing already.
Yes,
It
it
would
was
have
a
got a
great
10
show.
for me.
Fact, it could literally have been the greatest show of all time for them
Yeah.
if said, because we know what Ninja Theory and Son of Us should do. We kind of know. We're not really scared about what they're gonna do. It's just like, damn, show it. We need to see. That's the last question kind of thing.
I was so disappointed when they showed what they
bro.
showed. I was,
Me and Attic was sitting there, and I was like, all right,
That's
see
the
it.
whole reason I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah, we watched the show
Like,
in the theater.
I wanted to give it a 9.
Facts.
But
I
I
wanted
just
to give it a
could not
9. I
give
took
it a
a whole
9.
point.
I took a
off
whole
for-
point. Yeah, I took a
whole
point. I took a
'cause it
whole
was
point.
just bad.
Because, yeah, that was the slam dunk easily for them. But, okay, I think they've learned what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? And
We'll see.
We'll see if they learn. We'll see if they learn. But that's pretty much what I got on that. And I do agree that we probably get some Game Pass deals. Like, I'm with Pong completely on maybe
Yeah,
like
Game
some,
Pass
you know,
deals.
European focused type games with a Game Pass deal kind of thing. And that's pretty much it. But, yeah, that's what I got on the Gamescom. President.